Hello everyone and welcome back to Forum Friday. Last week I asked you guys what you thought about narratives in video games as far as, the main storyline, the main story or point that the creator wanted to tell with the story, and whether or not it's declined in the past 5 or 10 years, whether or not games these days still even have reliable or really good stories or narratives at all left. And you guys left some really good comments, so I'm gonna get to them right down here, and don't take that the wrong way, and see what you guys have to say, because you guys had some pretty good comments. Pick My Perks said, narratives took a dive when developers realized they could make more money on multiplayer and its DLC. I can only think of a handful of franchises in the past years that had decent stories narratives. BioShock, Borderlands, Half-Life, Fallout, Elder Scrolls. Yeah, those are for the most part the main ones that I see having any sort of good narrative as well. ODST Joe wants to remind Pick My Perk that Halo should be on that list as well, because at least the original trilogy, maybe even Halo Wars and ODST, had pretty good narratives, so Halo plus those games, really about it these days. And I'd say the God of War franchise, what else? Deus Ex maybe, but that's about it. Sir Metal King wants to say, the last game with the narrative I played was Pokemon Blue, obviously quite old now. The story tells you about your rival and Team Rocket's plans. Even though this story is... and it's... even though people know this story and it's become usual for a Pokemon game to have this, back in the day, it was well put together, a tale which backed up by Pokemon's kinda unique gameplay. As for today's games, there aren't many left, but hopefully we'll see more in the future. It's kinda funny that you're saying that Pokemon Blue has the best story in a game you've played for a while, but frankly that could be the case, and that is very sad. Juggernaut RGR says, a lot of gamers seem to be orientating their play around metagame because of the growth and development in competitive gameplay. I've seen a lot of people approaching RPGs these days and thinking more about stats and builds rather than actually role-playing, pen and paper games included. There is also the matter of the people who finance game development. It's well known that developers are also often rushed into releasing games, whatever the state, particularly when it comes to major titles. Yeah. Honestly, that's what drove me away from pen and paper games and tabletop RPGs and things like that, is the fact that even those are primarily focused on metagame nowadays. It's not just about enjoying the game experience, coming up with good tale to tell, it's just metagame. I don't like metagame. I've said that 1,000 times on this channel, but I really do not like metagame. And I just want to play the game. I bought a game, I want to play it. I don't want to play that I'm playing the game. Anyway. Sir Metal King also adds, to follow up on what I said before, now that I think about it, there are a fair few left ones like what Pick My Perk said. When the PS3, Xbox 360, with their easy online play, devs knew that they would love to play some of their favorites online, like Call of Duty. So when narrative games started going downhill, the devs saw the potential in these new games and went with it. That's why we don't have games like Spyro anymore, the PS1s of course. Yeah, I've been wondering about Spyro and where it has went, because I used to like Spyro as a kid. I don't really have any of the games left, unfortunately, but I liked Spyro, and I want to see more games like that, where just anybody can jump in and just go on a little adventure and have some fun. What happened to that? I don't know. Last but not least, Sordic says, quick thing of Oculus Rift full view plus gun controller plus soldier equals badass, referring to the previous week's episode. I bet that is pretty badass. This week I want to talk to you guys about online communities. I've had a really interesting experience with online communities the past week or so. I'm not really going to go into details, but it's got me thinking. What do you guys prefer as far as an online community to be a part of and to be involved with? Do you prefer forums, Reddit, something like Reddit or something like 4chan, comment sections like with blogs or YouTube videos, comment sections, or Do you just prefer your social media like Facebook, Twitter, or even just instant messaging? Like, do you prefer only to be involved with an online community if you're talking to them on like Steam or I guess AIM still exists or Skype or whatever? Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what kinds of online communities you guys like to be a part of and why. Like, what makes you stick to your type of online community? And we will see your comments in the next episode. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for sticking with Forum Friday. And I will see your comments next week.